This conflict escalated faster than almost anyone expected, and now it's having global consequences. We're talking about a war involving the United States, Israel, and Iran, three major players, with impacts reaching far beyond the Middle East. Before we break it all down, take a second to like the video and subscribe. We're building this channel from the ground up, and it helps more than you think. So what actually started this? And where is it heading? The tension between Iran and Israel isn't new. This is a conflict that goes back decades, with roots tracing to the 1979 Iranian Revolution. That was when Iran shifted to an openly anti-Israel stance. Over the years, that tension turned into indirect conflict, proxy wars, and cyber attacks. There were occasional direct strikes too, but things changed dramatically in 2026. On February 28th, the US and Israel launched a massive operation. In just 12 hours, nearly 900 airstrikes targeted Iranian military sites, infrastructure, and leadership. The scale was enormous. The impact was immediate. Key Iranian leaders were killed, and major parts of Iran's military capability were damaged. But it didn't end there. Iran responded quickly and aggressively. They launched hundreds of missiles and drones targeting Israel and US military bases. These strikes reached countries like Saudi Arabia, Qatar, Jordan, and the UAE. Regional allies were suddenly in the crosshairs. For the first time in years, large parts of Israeli territory came under direct attack, with civilians injured and infrastructure damaged. This wasn't just a regional conflict anymore. It became a global concern almost overnight. One of the biggest consequences was strategic. Iran closed the Strait of Hormuz, one of the most important shipping routes in the world, carrying a huge portion of global oil. The effects were immediate. Oil prices surged, gas prices increased, and economic pressure spread globally as supply lines broke. The war itself has already cost the United States an estimated $25 billion in just a few months, with 13 US troops killed. Hundreds more were wounded. That's a huge cost, not just financially but politically as well for the current administration. So what are the goals here? For the United States and Israel, the main objectives include weakening Iran's military and limiting its missiles. The ultimate goal is stopping Iran's nuclear program. For Iran, the goal is survival, maintaining its government and rebuilding strength. And here's the key point. Even after heavy damage, Iran is still in the fight. That's part of why this conflict is so complicated. Right now, the situation is unstable. There have been periods of ceasefire, but tensions remain extremely high between all parties. Diplomatic efforts are ongoing, with Iran proposing a multi-step plan that includes reopening shipping routes and reducing hostilities. But negotiations haven't fully progressed, largely due to disagreements over nuclear policy and long-term security across the region. Meanwhile, the humanitarian impact is growing. Reports show hospitals damaged and healthcare systems disrupted by the ongoing strikes. Thousands of civilian casualties across the region. This is where the reality of the conflict becomes clear. It's affecting everyday people. And if you want more breakdowns like this, where we actually explain what's going on, make sure to like and subscribe. Everyone helps us grow. This conflict isn't just about these three countries, it's about global stability. We're seeing rising energy prices and economic pressure. Some analysts believe this could reshape power dynamics in the Middle East for years to come, potentially shifting long-term alliances. Others argue that without a clear resolution, this could turn into a prolonged conflict, similar to other long-term wars we've seen. Reactions to the conflict vary widely. It is a deeply complex issue with different arguments on both sides. Supporters of the military action argue it's necessary to prevent Iran from developing nuclear weapons and destabilizing the region. Critics argue that the scale of the response risks escalation and long-term instability without guaranteeing any clear outcome. And that's what makes this situation so complex. There isn't a simple answer, and there likely won't be a quick resolution. What we're seeing right now is a conflict that's still evolving. It started with rapid escalation, but now it's entered a new phase. Strategy, diplomacy, and global pressure will determine what happens next. Whether this leads to resolution or something bigger is uncertain. At Allymonews, we break down stories like this so you don't just hear about them, you actually understand what's happening. If you found this useful, take a second to like the video and subscribe. We're working toward our first 1,000 subscribers. Every single subscription makes a difference. Join us as we build this community from the ground up. Thank you. And for more coverage like this, visit Allymonews. Stay informed, stay ahead. I'll see you in the next breakdown.